walking on the floor! Do it now!
The Special Constabulary is the nation's volunteer police force.
Do you know the gent?
What's your speed?
It's made up of over 20,000 members of the public.
Oh, it's gone down there.
Who give their time to fight crime in their communities.
Out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Specials combine their day jobs
Stage, please.
and home lives
Here's a good boy.
with being serving police officers on the front line. Coming up, a man with a knife has barricaded himself in his kitchen.
There's blood all around the door frame. We've got to get in there.
It's a dog's life for Adam as 3 pooches give him the runaround.
This is ridiculous, isn't it?
Come here. Talk about a wild goose chase. This is wild dog chase.
And a routine traffic stop takes a violent turn for Chris.
They better not be in my house when I get back.
It's 10 o'clock at night in Cambridgeshire, and Special Constable James Chatfield is out on patrol on his own.
Mel's taken an overdose and is smashing premises after 12.
An emergency call has just come in from the ambulance service, requesting police assistance at a residential address.
There's a male that's taken an overdose, but he's smashing the place up at the same time. There is another mobile on their way from Huntingdon, but they're currently tied up with something, so we might be first on scene.
James is used to working on his own and is well aware of the dangers of going solo into a situation like this.
It sounds like it could be a violent situation. The guy's smashing the place up.
Turn left on High Street.
So,
Turn left.
not ideal. Well, far from it.
James joined the Specials a year and a half ago, inspired by childhood memories of riding in his dad's police car.
With my dad being a police officer in Cambridgeshire, it did inspire me. You'd be at home on a Saturday and then a police car would turn up and it'd be him just popping by to say hello. I did get to have a go in the police car on one occasion. You look in the rearview mirror and you think, oh, I'm in the police car. And that's when I thought, oh, I want to do that.
In his day job, James is an estate agent, but he gives up his evenings and weekends to work as a special.
I do it for various reasons. I think the main one really is the buzz that you get from helping people. It's very important to be community-minded. If you're not willing to help out the community or put yourself out for it, then it's not going to work at all. Cheers.
Having spent 30 years in the police force himself, James's dad, who's now retired, couldn't be prouder of his son.
That's what he wants to do, and I fully support him. He enjoys it, he gets an awful lot out of it, and he's still part of the police family. Really, really proud.
Tonight, James is heading into a potentially dangerous situation. A man has taken an overdose and is acting violently. The ambulance service has called for police backup, and James believes he might be the first officer on scene.
Thoughts were, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've been told he's got a weapon, so I'm thinking I will be his next target.
When he arrives, James finds 2 other police units have also responded.
Turned around the corner of the road and I could see a van, one police van and a police car, which was fantastic.
The man's mother is also there. She was the one who called the ambulance. And the man himself is in the kitchen. He's barricaded the door with his body and won't let anyone in. But the scene outside the kitchen is truly shocking.
I've never seen anything like it. There was the sofas that had all been pushed about, vases smashed, light fittings smashed, the curtains were pulled off, and there was blood stains right around the door frame and on the walls.
The ambulance crew need to get to the man urgently to assess his injuries. But the police are worried that if they force their way into the kitchen, the man could become violent.
He had access to kitchen knives, cutlery, scissors, there could be bread knives, carving knives, anything. We needed to get to him, first of all, to save him, to stop him causing any further injury to himself. And also, if he did have a weapon, we needed to get that weapon off him and restrain him so he couldn't use it on anyone else.
James goes to assist his regular colleagues, who are trying to reason with the man through the door.
We've got an ambulance here waiting to see you. Do you want to come and speak to them?
Can you tell me if you've got an injury at all?
The man refuses any offer of help and won't give the police any information about his injuries. But he does confirm that he's taken something.
What have you taken? Prescription drugs?
I was in with colleagues in the lounge while they were trying to talk to him, just in case he decided to come bursting out. Then I changed and I went out and I spoke to the mother. My role then changed to reassuring her.
It'll be right. It always looks worse than it is.
I said that we were doing all we can and we won't be going until we'd got him out. If it meant we were there all night, we'd have been there all night waiting for him.
Like I said, we want to help you, so the more...
The police try to convince the man to move away from the door.
If we push the door in, we don't want to hurt you, so are you going to move?
But he suddenly becomes agitated.
When I heard the banging noises, I was looking around at my colleagues thinking, what's he doing? Real loud banging noises, like he's pulling stuff down, glass smashing. I've just never heard anything like it.
The police are worried the man may try to make a run for it, so James is asked to guard any possible escape routes.
Just make sure there's somebody around by that window.
Yeah, I'll go.
The situation is now becoming increasingly urgent. The man is in a bad way, and the police are seriously concerned about his well-being.
It sounds like he's throwing up in there. And he's collapsed in there as well, but there's blood all around the door frame. We've got to get in there.
Armed officers have been called to gain access to the kitchen. When they arrive, James briefs them on the situation.
Oh, you're right, what we got? It's a chap and they're not letting us in, you can hear him. There's blood all around the door. Right. He's got knives and everything, what have you, and then he's taking some antidepressants.
Everything now moves up a gear as the armed officers prepare to enter the kitchen.
Get all this out of the way. Just dragging that until we're in. Get that out of the way so we can get kinetic.
But hearing the commotion outside, the man becomes distressed. The police need to get in there straight away. They get ready with the taser and prepare to break down the door.
Can you stand back and we'll break the door open?
Then the man suddenly opens the door.
It's the lock. Show me your hands.
But he's not going down without a fight. He launches himself at one of the officers. Fearing for their safety, the police decide to use the taser.
Put your hands behind your back now.
The state of the man was pretty horrendous. He was covered in blood from head to toe. It was all over his face, all down his chest, legs, arms, the lot. It was like watching the horror film, but then realising you're actually in it.
It's an alarming sight for the man's mother, but James does his best to keep her calm.
He'll be all right. No ambulance have got to him anyway. They'll be able to sort him out.
The paramedics are now able to assess the man's injuries, and although they look alarming, they turn out to be quite superficial.
He has several wounds, nothing overly serious, but there's a lot of blood everywhere. I'm going to take him to hospital because he needs some wound closure done on the wounds on his hands and across his body. It's just now getting him out safely, really, because he's still a bit edgy around us and the police.
The man is taken to the ambulance and will be transported to the nearest hospital. And for James, it's the end of a very eventful shift.
From arriving at that house and seeing what he'd done to his own house, I was very concerned for my safety and colleagues' safety as well. He's capable of doing that, he's capable of injuring any one of us, and that really is at the front of what I'm thinking all the time. A lot of people will say, why did you put yourself in that situation? It's the thought that potentially you are helping someone. We get him out of the house, he goes to hospital, he survives. That's a life saved. And I think it's the buzz of that is what does it.
The man was admitted to hospital that night, where he was treated for his injuries. He was later sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Specials are unpaid volunteers who work alone or alongside the regular police to fight crime in their communities.
You got all of
Don't want to see you walking on the main road again.
Come on.
Recovery's obviously en route.
Specials are not police community support officers. They're fully fledged members of the police force who have the same powers in law as their paid colleagues, including the power of arrest.
Stop it! Move over.
No, 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 no!
Move out of the way.
No.
Within many special constabularies, officers can rise through the ranks, from constable all the way to chief specials officer.
Ouch, I found a thorn. Let me remind you, you're under arrest and anything you say will be written down.
Specials work 16 hours a month or more as volunteers and undertake all kinds of duties, from policing community events to arresting hardened criminals. It's a freezing cold day in Cambridgeshire, and Special Constable Adam Catling is out on patrol with colleague PC Kirsten Richmond. They've just entered the village of Melbourne when they come across 3 dogs running loose in the street.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Adam and Kirsten need to find out who the dogs belong to, so they check their collars for an address or phone number. But before they can write the number down, the dogs take off.
Come here.
They went into a side street which we thought we'd managed to corner them, but that wasn't the case, and they then decided to run back past us towards quite busy traffic, which then became very much a game of cat and mouse or cop and dog.
All yours. No, 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 not in the traffic.
In his day job, Adam works for the ambulance service, a job not a million miles away from his work as a special.
I'd say working in the police is incredibly similar to working in the ambulance service. The basic interpersonal skills that we use are exactly the same. Working in the 2 jobs that I do brings me quite close to the local community, and you get to know people on first-name terms. And the relationship that you build with them is something that I really quite enjoy.
But dealing with people is a very different matter to dealing with animals. And today, Adam and Kirsten are hot on the heels of 3 particularly slippery characters.
Just crossed the road like ducks. I don't know where they've come from. No. It's like a wild goose chase. This is wild dog chase.
On the day itself, it was quite snowy and icy, so straight away there was his own hazards with us trying to chase these dogs, and it appeared that at any point where we got near them to a point of being able to get hold of them, they then instantly ran away and just kept that 1 step ahead of us the whole time. Being on 4 feet as opposed to 2, they definitely had the advantage, which was quite humiliating.
You can see a trolley 5-4.
Due to the weather conditions, the dogs could be a risk to other road users.
Yeah, dog unit.
Adam decides it's time to call for backup.
Melbourne, please. We've got 3 dogs just running around in the roads.
And in the meantime, they decide that in a case like this, 4 wheels are better than 4 feet.
There's another main road there.
I'm kidding.
Just seen one go past. Literally where that hedge is.
We better get in because they've got on that main road.
The pressure is now on to catch the suspects. They're heading towards the busy A10, where cars are whizzing past at 60 miles an hour. It's no place for a Labrador and 2 Jack Russells. But with gardens and hedges left, right and centre, the village is full of hiding places for crafty canines.
And I've got no idea where they've gone from here because they were out of my sight. It's a mystery. Where have they gone?
The police decide to appeal to witnesses for any sightings of the suspects.
Hiya. I don't suppose you've seen 3 stray dogs walking down here, have you? No? OK, thank you.
Don't suppose you've seen 3 dogs running around on their own, have you?
Not yet.
Ah. Right.
Big dog.
One's a Labrador.
1 lab and 2 jacks.
Oh, all right, they're all right. I'll keep an eye out.
So they didn't come this way?
No.
It's starting to look like the pups have given the police the slip.
It's not every day in the job that we end up chasing dogs. Usually we're much more akin to chasing criminals. I think they can certainly be a lot more predictable than dogs, and in some ways much easier to catch.
There's a new one on me.
But then Adam suddenly spots the suspects up ahead.
Ah, here we go.
Ah. Grab him, grab him. Grab the dog.
The dogs are now just a hair's breadth away. Kirsten and Adam close in. But once again, the mutts are 1 step ahead.
Come here. I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. Put it that way.
It's all turning into a bit of a dog's dinner, so Kirsten and Adam decide to lie low until the dog handler arrives. They meet him in a nearby field, and all three head off in search of the pooches. But it's now 20 minutes since they were last sighted, and there's no sign of them in the streets or in the neighbouring fields, so they decide to call off the search.
Brilliant. Cheers for your help, thanks for that.
See you later. Thanks for that.
If there's any other calls or we come across them while we're out on patrol, just gonna leave it how it is.
Famous last words.
Minutes after calling our search off for these dogs, we have now another sighting. Our dog unit has just seen them come around the corner. So we're heading off now to see if we can catch them again.
And this time, they're in luck.
Got one.
Fantastic. Hey!
We saw that you had the larger of the three on a lead, and there's a tremendous sense of relief that, with the other two staying nearby, that the chase was finally over and that we got them safe and away from any traffic.
A bowl of dog biscuits later, and three very grubby pooches are securely fastened on their leads. All that remains now is to make contact with the owner.
Come down and join us to get them, because otherwise we're going to have to get them taken to the vets or get them into kennels or something, which will obviously cost.
Come on then.
The dogs are loaded into the police car, and the dog handler arranges for the owner to come and meet them.
At least we know that they're going to be OK now, and there's not going to be any road-related incidents, which is always good. Team effort! We got them!
But it's not quite over yet.
Unfortunately, when we got there, some time passed without her turning up, which then meant that we had to call her to see what was going on.
She's in labour. She was due this afternoon. She was heading to hospital when we called. She's on her way back, and the pains have started to kick in and contractions. So she's gone off to hospital. We're not delivering a baby. So she's...
In the time that I've been working with the police, this is probably one of the most surreal situations.
Hello.
Chasing dogs for 2.5 hours for the owner then to go into labour, it is something that you just couldn't plan for, and certainly something that isn't involved in your training.
Hiya.
Luckily, there's someone at the owner's address, so they're able to deliver the dogs safely.
For a minute. There's number one. She's got a sore back left leg. Thank you very much.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you.
The main worry with these three dogs was that they were going to cause an issue with the traffic. So as light and funny as it did seem, it was very much just a matter of trying to get control of the three dogs before they came too much of a risk to the public. It came as tremendous relief, beyond what I could describe really, that we managed to get them home safe and sound.
It's 11 p.m, pub closing time, and Special Constable Chris Hallett is out with PC Colin Johnson on a drink driving patrol.
When was the last time you had a drink? If you can just blow around there until I tell you to stop. You had a drink tonight? No. You haven't? No? OK.
When he's not volunteering, Chris helps manage 2 police training centres.
My day job is basically managing sites, working alongside other police officers, police staff, dealing with contractors. Oh, OK. When you starting that? Dealing with security problems. When I walked in, the alarm wasn't set. Basically making sure that everything's working properly. You've got to be able to sort of think on your feet, stay organised, yeah, and being able to deal with people. Someone's always got a problem. So, yeah, it's nice to fix that problem.
Tonight, Chris and Colin are on the lookout for drink drivers, and a van in front has aroused their suspicion.
The drivers were a little bit sort of scatty trying to get out of the way, just seeing a police car. They suddenly sort of just turned off a street and driving a little bit quick. So, yeah, so we followed it and pulled it over. Doing a drink drive campaign. During December, have you had a drink tonight?
No.
You haven't?
No.
When was the last time you had a drink?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? You got a driving licence on you?
No, not with me. I'm in my pyjamas.
She had this one-piece sort of suit on, what they call onesies. Personally, I try not to judge a book by its cover. Yeah. So, while you're out at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, in your onesie,
It's your dad, is it?
driving a van.
The police have pulled the driver over on suspicion of drink driving, but it quickly becomes apparent that there's much more to this case than meets the eye.
This vehicle, have you got any insurance to drive this vehicle?
I don't know. I think so.
Will that be a no then?
The woman doesn't have valid insurance and is breaking the law by driving the van. The van is owned by the male passenger's father. He claims his parents let him and his girlfriend borrow the van to go to the shop.
But I don't believe for 1 minute your dad is going to allow her to drive this vehicle knowing that she's got no insurance. I want you to be honest with me.
Yeah, no, I am being honest with you. He just said just take it, yeah.
Right. And did you hear him say that yourself?
No, my mum said we could take it.
So, but it's not your mum's car, is it?
Well, it's my mum and dad, isn't it? You can come round and speak to my mum if you want.
Well, just to let you know, I'm going to be seizing the vehicle under Section 165 of the Road Traffic Act for being driven with no insurance. There's no one here that can drive it with relevant insurance, OK? I've got reason to believe that that vehicle is going to be driven away from here. OK, it's likely
to
be
we'll leave. You can take the keys.
No, because I'm not being funny.
Well, I'll have to empty it all out then, won't I?
Right.
It's not down to me, but yeah, I'll have to empty it all out.
A lot of stuff in there.
The officers are seizing his dad's van. His father is a builder and his tools are in the back.
Mind you, if it's being seized, it'd be safe, wouldn't it?
It'll be put into a secure compound. Well, the male passenger seemed a bit scared, actually, that we were taking it. He took his dad's tools out of the back and made sort of every effort to secure the vehicle. Does your dad need it for work Monday morning? Or
tomorrow.
Oh, he needs it tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Right, OK.
The mother of the female driver arrives, and she's not pleased about her daughter's choice of evening wear.
Sorry, what's been going on?
She's been to Tesco's.
Look at the state of you.
I'm in my pyjamas.
You only just got out of bed.
Just got out of bed to go and get something to eat.
Hi, PC.
You would have thought I'd murdered
PC Johnson from
someone.
March.
Shut up. Right, I'm sorry. Can I leave this with you?
Yeah, you can do, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm actually going out.
PC Johnson runs some checks on the female driver, and it's more bad news.
But you've got 6 points on your licence at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah.
OK, that means
Now I've got about 10.
That means I can't give you a ticket here, because obviously if I give you a ticket here, that means your licence is gone. All right, so I'm going to have to report you for court. OK, so you've been reported for the question of prosecution for driving a motor vehicle on the road.
Are you nicking me?
No, you're not being nicked.
Oh, for God's sake, just hurry up. People are the need to real when you're having to go at me for driving to the shop to get some cream
you're
soda.
Right, but at the moment I'm dealing with you, who's driving around on the road without no insurance.
Oh, wow.
OK, what happens if you knock someone over and kill someone?
Well, dealt with. I'm only going to the shop and back.
What about if that's someone else and
just
knocks one of your kiddies
me,
over?
will you?
She's already got 6 points and is now due another 3, but complains this is all a waste of police time.
Police are there to deal with situations like that, aren't they? If you had the right documents, you were insured and you should, driving the vehicle, then, yeah, we could be dealing with something else.
Have you done anything to drink tonight?
No, I don't drink.
OK, ready? Blowing then to to stop.
Chris breathalyses the woman to make sure she hasn't been drinking alcohol. The test comes back clear. But PC Johnson has just made another damning discovery.
More bad news for you. Your licence is no longer valid at this time.
Oh.
OK, so you're also being reported for driving otherwise in accordance with a licence. OK.
Oh, great. Anything else you want to do before Christmas?
So you're going to be reported for both those offences. It will mean a court. It will mean a court
I don't
appearance.
really care, to be honest.
Right.
I don't want to drive anymore anyway. Bed. I'm not well. I'm in my bloody pyjamas.
Female driver had no insurance and no driving licence, basically. So, to me, that's someone that doesn't really take any care.
The car is towed away, and the woman and her boyfriend make their way home in a taxi with his dad's tools. Case closed. Or so they think.
Literally, before we got to the end of the street, we heard a call coming over the radio.
Control is reporting a domestic dispute in progress at the address of the man whose van has been impounded.
A specific street and house name was mentioned, and we both sort of looked at each other and thought, that's the address of the van.
Yeah, we'll go as well. It's domestic now, that address.
As we arrived, there was the young man that had been in the van at the time of when we seized it, was out in the front garden.
What's going on? Before you
Just go in. Who's kicked off? He had a bit of a fat lip, and he was basically saying, arrest his dad.
The man claims he was hit by his father when he came home without his van.
Just try and calm down. Try and calm down, all right?
The father has accused his son of stealing some of his tools.
Due to how the father was acting, he was handcuffed immediately by PC Johnson.
Because obviously you're a bit agitated, aren't you?
No, I'm
off, but you can't go around hitting people for it.
The man's wife is also in the house and appears to have been involved in the incident.
Her cheeks and her nose looked quite swollen. I think she was trying to stop the dad from hitting the son, and she got in the way. Got punched in the face.
You're under arrest for ABH times 2, OK? You don't have to say anything.
Sorry?
You're under arrest for ABH.
Times
2 for your son and your wife.
And what?
And punching your wife.
Right.
OK? So you do not have to say anything, but mainly defence. If you do not mention one question, something shall later rely in court.
Well, I think...
Anything you do say will be given evidence. Do you understand?
I understand I'm under arrest, so you better make sure when you release me, because I'll tell you now...
Yep.
They better not be in my house when I get back.
Why is that?
I'll burn it. That's why.
OK.
So lock me up, do what you're going to do.
Right. Can I just remind you that you are under arrest?
Yes, I
and
know
that anything
I'm under
you
arrest.
do say will be written down
that
and used
scamming
against you.
little
Right, I'm not going to discuss it now.
Rip me off. You're nicking me.
You need to calm down. We'll deal with this
No,
when we get down to
I don't think I
custody.
need to calm down, actually.
Yes,
so
you do.
Would you be like that if your son ripped you off?
Right, we're going to deal with it in custody, right, sir?
It started with a routine traffic stop and ended up with a chap being arrested for assaulting his wife and his son. People make choices in life. You know, you've got to take the consequence, haven't you?
Just goes to show that small little things, like from a minor traffic offence, escalates into something like this. Yeah, if the girl had insurance, none of this would have happened.
The man was taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of common assault. The case went to court but was later dropped. The female driver was summoned to court for driving without a licence or insurance. She pleaded guilty, received 6 points on her licence and was ordered to pay a £180 fine and £90 costs.